Welcome to Coonganimals. Dive into the wild world of amazing creatures with us. When you think of polar bears, the first images that come to mind are likely beautiful, almost picture-perfect scenes. Large white bears rolling around in the snow, surviving in a harsh icy world. But do you know all the secrets hidden in their lives? Polar bears are not just powerful creatures. They are expert hunters and great warriors in an extremely harsh environment. Let's dive deeper into some interesting stories and secrets about polar bears that you may have never heard before. Polar bears are some of the most skilled hunters in the animal kingdom. The harsh Arctic environment has honed them into excellent warriors. They primarily hunt seals, and one of their special skills is waiting patiently for their prey. Polar bears often spend a lot of time standing silently near seal-breathing holes in the ice, where seals surface to breathe. The bears don't need to move much. Instead, they simply stand there and wait for their prey to appear. And if you think that polar bears just chase after seals, you're mistaken. In fact, they can camouflage themselves cleverly, using the snow and ice to conceal their presence and wait for the right moment. Sometimes, they even swim under the ice to approach their prey silently, making them excellent underwater hunters. You've probably heard that polar bears' fur helps them blend perfectly into the snowy environment, but few people know that their fur isn't completely white as we often think. The fur of a polar bear is actually translucent and does not reflect light the way you might expect, giving them their bright white appearance. This helps them blend into their surroundings, making them nearly invisible to both prey and predators. In addition, their thick fur and a thick layer of fat underneath their skin help them stay warm in the extreme cold. Did you know that they can easily survive temperatures as low as 30 degrees without being affected? Their fur acts like a natural armor, enabling them to endure the harsh conditions of this frigid world. Winter for a polar bear is not just a major challenge in terms of weather, but also a true survival journey. When winter arrives, Arctic temperatures can drop below 50 degrees, and the ice covers the seas where polar bears hunt. But the amazing thing is that polar bears not only survive, but they are also incredibly active during this time. They can travel hundreds of kilometers across the winter, moving from one ice floe to another, tirelessly searching for food. What's interesting is that they can walk hundreds of kilometers across the ice without exhausting themselves. And when they have to swim, they can cross through the icy seas, floating on the frozen water while still finding their way to hunting grounds. Of course, polar bears always move with one goal in mind: to hunt seals and protect their territory. However, life for polar bears isn't always easy. In the summer, when the ice melts, their food becomes scarce. They have to search further afield to find food, which forces them to move even farther and face the danger of not finding anything to eat. This is one of the reasons why polar bears are becoming an endangered species. Climate change, with the rapid melting of sea ice, has created a new threat to their survival. When you think of polar bears' lives, you may imagine them existing in a monotonous world of ice and snow. But in reality, their lives are filled with incredible and exciting moments. One of the most amazing stories I want to share is about a female polar bear who traveled over 800 kilometers from one region to another in search of food for her cubs. Along the way, she faced numerous dangers, from violent snowstorms to fragile sea ice, which could cause them to fall into the water. Yet the mother bear persevered, moving tirelessly to find thick enough ice to continue hunting and nourish her cubs. Another story involves a male polar bear who lived alone for 10 years in the farthest reaches of the ice, without companions, without family, only long hunting trips. Yet this male polar bear survived, thanks to his incredible resilience and adaptability. These are stories of great survival and courage that few could imagine. There's no denying that climate change is threatening not just polar bears, but many other animal species as well. Rising temperatures are causing the ice to melt quickly, reducing the area where polar bears can live and hunt. When their habitat shrinks, polar bears have to travel farther, facing the risk of not finding food and the scarcity of life. One sad story about a polar bear is about a male bear who died from exhaustion after failing to find food for an extended period. Stories like these are a wake-up call about the importance of protecting the Arctic environment and the species living there. Polar bears have a very unique reproductive pattern. Typically, female bears are pregnant for about 8 months, but to give birth, the mother will enter a den or temporary shelter when winter arrives. During pregnancy, the mother bear can reduce activity and survive thanks to the thick layer of fat she has accumulated. When the mother bear gives birth, the cubs are very small, weighing only about 0.5–1 kg, and they are completely dependent on their mother. The cubs will remain in the den throughout the winter and only venture out when the weather warms up. At that point, they begin learning to hunt and adapt to the harsh environment. Though polar bears are primarily hunters, they sometimes have fascinating relationships with other species in their environment. For example, polar bears and seals have a strange relationship, where sometimes the bear will move between groups of seals, not to hunt them immediately, but merely to appear as a threat. In addition, under extreme conditions, there are stories of polar bears occasionally sharing their habitat with other animals like walruses or even some birds, though these are not close relationships. However, in times of hardship, they can temporarily coexist without major conflict. Polar bears are not the only animals living in the Arctic. Brown bears like the grizzly bear in Alaska and Arctic wolves are also competitors, sometimes vying with polar bears for food. However, polar bears rarely face them directly, as they tend to inhabit different areas. Brown bears may live in areas with more land mammals, while polar bears are found in icy regions rich in seals. However, the encroachment of other species due to climate change may force polar bears to change their hunting tactics and seek less common food sources. An interesting thing about polar bears is that although they are usually solitary animals, they can display certain social behaviors. They typically only meet others during the mating season or when there is a large food source, but they rarely interact long-term. When they do meet, polar bears communicate with each other through roars, growls, or body language like chasing one another away. However, these interactions are not like those of animals that live in herds. Finally, you can add to your video some stories about the relationship between polar bears and humans. In recent years, as humans have started to study polar bears more closely, we've witnessed some touching stories of polar bears being rescued from difficult situations, from being trapped in melting ice floes to being injured during hunting. Moreover, polar bears have played a crucial role in raising awareness about climate change and the importance of protecting the Arctic environment. Conservation organizations are working tirelessly to protect the habitat of polar bears and other creatures, while also promoting stronger global action to safeguard the environment. Polar bears are not only powerful creatures, but they are also great warriors in the wild. The secrets and fascinating stories about them always make us think about their strength, resilience, and the challenges they face. They are an indispensable part of the Arctic ecosystem, and it is our responsibility to protect them. So, what do you think about polar bears? These incredible animals will surely continue to amaze us with their secrets and remarkable stories. Let's work together to protect them and their environment so they can continue to survive and thrive in the future. If you have any interesting stories, feel free to leave a comment below and share them with everyone. If you like this video and want to learn more fascinating facts about the animal kingdom, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on our latest videos from Animalcoong. Thank you for watching.